If you're over 60, there is something happening in your legs every single morning that almost nobody talks about. Not your doctor, not the pamphlets in the waiting room, not even your friends who quietly struggle with the same thing, but you feel it. That first heavy step out of bed. The cold toes that take forever to warm up. The slow shuffling before your body finally remembers how to move again. I am Dr. James, and after caring for older adults for more than 25 years, I can tell you this. What you're feeling is real. It is common, and it is not simply age catching up to you. Your body is still trying to heal. It just needs the right support. Let me tell you about Harold, a 73-year-old retired mechanic from Ohio. Every morning, he would sit on the edge of his bed and wait for the feeling to return to his feet. He told me, "Doc, my legs wake up after my coffee, not before." For years, he believed this was just what getting older felt like, but the truth was something very different and far more fixable. Here is the part that surprises most people. The number one reason leg circulation slows after 60 has nothing to do with weak hearts or clogged arteries. It comes from a tiny system inside your calves that almost no one is taught to care for. A system I call your second heart. And when it goes quiet overnight, your morning circulation drops like a stone. Have you ever wondered why your feet feel cold even when the room is warm? Or why those first steps feel heavier than they should? If that sounds familiar, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Stay with me. Because in the next minute, I am going to reveal the simple 1-minute routine that reactivates this silent system and gently unlocks leg circulation before your day even begins. And what happened to Harold when he tried it still gives me chills. If you are over 60, there is a quiet moment each morning when your circulation slows down without warning. Most older adults never realize it is the very first thing they do after getting out of bed. Not the walk to the bathroom, not breakfast, not the stretch by the window. It is the act of standing up before your legs are ready, and it silently shapes how your legs feel for the rest of the day. I remember Eleanor, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Arizona. She told me, "Dr. James, my legs feel heavy every morning, but 10 minutes later, I am fine. I guess that is just age." But age was not the problem. The issue was that her calves, the small muscles responsible for pushing blood upward, were still in sleep mode each morning while gravity was already pulling everything down. Her heart was trying. Her vessels were trying. But her calf pump, that little second heart we talked about, simply had not woken up yet. Let me explain this the way I explained it to her. When you lie down all night, blood settles in your feet the same way water settles at the bottom of a glass. When you stand too quickly, gravity grabs that blood before your calves have a chance to push it up. For a brief moment, the circulation in your legs drops, which is why your feet may feel heavy, stiff, or slow right after waking. It is not dangerous for most people, but it does affect how your entire day begins. Many older adults do not realize that the first 60 seconds after getting out of bed can determine whether their legs feel supported or sluggish. Think of your calves as the ignition of a car on a cold morning. If you press the gas before the engine warms, the car sputters. Your circulation does the same thing. It wants a gentle start. So here is the simple fix I gave Eleanor. Before standing, she pointed her toes forward for 5 seconds, pulled them back for 5 seconds, then made a slow circle with each ankle, just 20 seconds. That was enough to wake the calf pump, open the valves inside the veins, and give her legs the signal they had been waiting for. After 3 days of this tiny ritual, she walked into my office and said, "My mornings feel different. My legs feel lighter. I did not know it could feel like this, but this is only the beginning." Waking the muscles is one thing. Opening the microscopic vessels inside the legs is something else entirely, and it makes an even bigger difference. And that is what we are going to talk about next. There is a quiet truth about leg circulation that surprises almost every older adult I meet. After 60, the tiny vessels inside your legs, the ones responsible for nourishing your muscles and warming your feet, can lose up to 40% of their flexibility. And the most unbelievable part is this. You usually cannot feel it happening. Not at first. It slips in gently, like a dimmer switch, lowering the light so slowly you do not notice the room getting darker. I once treated Thomas, a 70-year-old former delivery driver from Texas. He told me his legs felt tight whenever he stood too long, almost like a dull pressure building inside. He blamed arthritis. He blamed his shoes. He blamed years of hard work on the road. But when I examined him, the real story had nothing to do with worn joints or tired muscles. His microcirculation, the delicate network of capillaries that carry warm, oxygen-rich blood into the deepest parts of the legs, was struggling to open, not blocked, not diseased, simply fatigued. What I call endothelial tiredness, something many older adults never realize is even happening in their bodies. Let me put this in everyday terms. Imagine the automatic doors at your local grocery store. When the sensors work, the doors glide open. When the sensors weaken, the doors hesitate, open halfway, or stay stuck. That is exactly what happens to your microvessels when nitric oxide levels fall with age. The doors of your circulation do not open the way they should, and your legs pay the price with numbness, coldness, or that slow, heavy feeling deep inside the muscles. Now, here is the myth-busting moment. Most people think poor leg circulation begins in the large arteries. But the real battle starts in the capillaries, the small vessels your doctor cannot see on an X-ray, and you cannot feel until the problem has grown. And this is why so many seniors tell me, "Doc, my tests are normal, but my legs still do not feel right." The good news is that these tiny vessels can respond quickly when given the right signal. One of the simplest ways to do that is something I taught Thomas in our first session. A gentle 15-second calf squeeze. Sit with your feet flat. Tighten your calves slowly for 5 seconds. Then release. Do this 3 times. That tightening sends a wave of pressure through your microvessels, encouraging them to open, stretch, and receive more blood. Within a week, Thomas told me, my legs feel like they wake up faster than I do. But opening the microvessels is only half the story. Reactivating the system that actually pushes blood back up toward the heart is where the real transformation begins. And that is what we are going to uncover next. There is a moment in every appointment when I watch a patient's face change. It happens right after I explain that the calves, those muscles most people ignore, are responsible for sending nearly 70% of the blood in their legs back toward the heart. Not the thighs, not the hips, the calves. And when that pump weakens, circulation slows in ways that feel mysterious. Heavy legs, cold toes, slower walking, a strange tiredness deep in the muscles. Many older adults do not realize this is not aging. It is simply an underused system asking to be woken up again. I think of Rosie, a 72-year-old grandmother from Colorado who came to me because her feet tingled every morning. She told me, "Dr. James, I do everything right. I walk. I stay active. I stretch. But my feet feel like they belong to someone else." The problem was not her heart, not her nerves. It was that her calf pump had lost its rhythm. She was moving, yes, but not in a way that triggered the steady back and forth pressure the vessels rely on to get blood upstream. Think of your calf pump as your second heart. Your real heart pushes blood down. Your calves push it back up. A two-way highway. But here is the catch. Your real heart beats automatically. Your calf pump only works when you move in a certain way. Slow, controlled, repetitive, the kind of movement most older adults stop doing without noticing. And once that pump quiets down, it becomes harder for your legs to clear old blood, bring in fresh oxygen, and keep tissues warm and energized. Here is the myth most people believe. They think they need long walks, heavy exercises, or climbing stairs to reactivate circulation. But the truth is far simpler. Your calves respond not to effort, but to rhythm. Consistent, gentle pressure is what signals the vessels to open and the valves inside your veins to push blood upward. So, I taught Rosie a 1-minute routine she could do while brushing her teeth. Stand or sit with your feet flat. Lift your heels slowly for 3 seconds, lower for 3 seconds, and repeat. No rushing, no bouncing. just a steady pulse. After 3 days, she told me something I will never forget. My feet warm up before I do. But reactivating the calf muscle pump is only half the transformation. To unlock deeper circulation, you must also open the arteries themselves, and you can do that with something far simpler than exercise. And that is what we are going to explore next. There is something beautifully simple about the way your body tries to help you, even after 60. Sometimes it does not ask for strength. Sometimes it does not ask for effort. Sometimes all it needs is for you to breathe in a certain way, and when you do, the arteries in your legs respond almost immediately, opening just enough to let warmer, richer blood flow through. Most older adults never learn this, but the fastest way to improve leg circulation is not always movement, it is breath. The right breath. The kind that tells your nervous system to release the gentle chemical signal that opens your arteries from the inside. That signal is nitric oxide, and after 60, your body produces far less of it than it used to. Not because anything is wrong with you, but because the endothelial lining, the inner surface of your arteries, ages too. It tires. It forgets. And your breath is the reminder it has been waiting for. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 69-year-old former librarian from North Carolina. She came to me because her legs buzzed at night. A strange tingling, a crawling sensation that made it hard to sleep. She thought it was nerves, she thought it was a circulation failure, but the real cause was something much simpler. Her vessels were staying too tight throughout the day, never getting the signal to soften and open. And without that opening, blood returned slowly, pooling in her lower legs and sending restless messages through her nerves. So I taught her a pattern that only takes 30 seconds. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Slow, quiet, no forcing, no lifting the shoulders. Just allowing the belly to rise and fall. And here is the part most people do not realize. When you breathe like this, you activate the parasympathetic system, the calming branch of your body that lowers tension in your vessels. That gentle relaxation gives nitric oxide room to do its job. The arteries open, the microvessels soften, and circulation finally flows without resistance. Think of it like loosening a garden hose. When you stop gripping it too tightly, the water finds its path again. After 3 nights of practicing this before bed, and 3 mornings practicing it before standing, Margaret said, "My legs feel quieter. I have not felt that buzzing in days." But breath alone is not enough. Movement wakes the muscles. Microcirculation opens the capillaries. Breath unlocks the arteries. Now all that remains is to bring everything together in a single 1-minute routine, the routine that pulls the whole system back into harmony. And that is what we are about to reach. There is a moment in every conversation with an older adult when their eyes soften just a little, as if they are letting themselves imagine something they have not felt in years. Lighter legs, warmer feet, a morning that does not begin with stiffness or hesitation. And that feeling is not fantasy, it is physiology. Because when you combine waking the muscles, opening the capillaries, activating the calf muscle pump, and using breath to unlock the arteries, you create the perfect conditions for something your legs have been waiting for. A full, healthy circulation reset. This final step is where everything meets. Your muscles, your microvessels, your arteries, and your breath. It is not complicated. It is not strenuous. It does not require equipment or balance or strength. It only requires 1 minute of intention. 1 minute that tells your body, I am helping you do what you have been trying to do all along. Let me share Harold again, the 73-year-old from Ohio who inspired this method in the first place. For decades, he believed his cold feet were a sign of getting older. He tried thicker socks, warmer slippers, heating pads, even soaking his feet each morning. Nothing changed. But when he began this single routine, not for 10 minutes, not for 5, but for 1 minute, a shift happened. On day 3, he told me something remarkable. My feet no longer feel like blocks of ice when I stand up. They feel alive again. Here's what he learned and what I now teach every one of my patients. Start by standing or sitting with your feet flat on the floor. Take 1 slow breath in. On the exhale, lift your heels for 3 seconds. Lower for 3 seconds. Repeat this rhythm 10 times. Each lift squeezes the deep calf muscles. Each release draws fresh blood back in. And with your breath guiding the pace, your arteries stay open long enough for that warm, oxygen-rich flow to move freely down and back up again. If standing feels unsteady, do the entire routine from a chair. The effect is the same. Gentle, powerful, natural. Think of it as tuning an instrument. You are not fixing something broken. You are reminding it how to play. Your legs have always known how to circulate blood. Age does not erase that ability. It only muffles it. A routine like this removes the dust, clears the pathway, and lets your system find its rhythm again. But here is the part that many people miss. A 1-minute reset works best when the rest of your day supports it. And in the final section, I want to leave you with something more than instructions. I want to leave you with a truth, a reminder about your body that I wish every older adult could carry with them. There is something I wish every older adult could feel, at least once. That moment when your legs no longer feel like a burden you carry, but a part of you waking up again. A part that has been trying quietly and faithfully to support you through every morning, every errand, every memory, every step of your life. Your legs have never stopped working for you. They have only been waiting for you to work with them. I tell my patients this often, but today I want to tell you directly, your body is still trying to heal. Even now, even at 60, 70, 80, healing does not disappear with age. It shifts, it slows, but it never leaves you. Your vessels are still open when invited. Your calf pump still responds when awakened. Your breath still carries the signal to soften your arteries. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are simply reconnecting with a system that has been asking for attention, not perfection. Harold once told me something that stayed with me. He said, "Dr. James, I spent years trying to fix my legs when all they needed was for me to listen." That is what this 1-minute routine truly is. A way of listening. A way of saying, I hear you. I am here. Let us do this together. And I want you to remember this. Every small choice you make sends a message to your body, a message of support, a message of direction, a message that says, I want to feel better. And I am willing to take one small step today. You do not need a perfect routine. You do not need hours of exercise. You do not need expensive equipment. You just need consistency. A minute in the morning, a breath when you feel tense, a gentle lift of the heels, a willingness to begin, even on the days when you feel slower than usual. Your legs are not giving up on you. They are responding to you. And when you offer them even a small amount of care, they answer with warmth, with strength, with steadier steps, with quieter nights. That is the beauty of circulation. It is a partnership between you and your body. You invite, it responds. You encourage, it adapts. So here is my gentle challenge to you. Try this 1-minute routine tomorrow morning. Then try it the next day. Try it for 7 days. Notice how your legs feel when you stand. Notice how your feet warm a little faster. Notice how your walk feels just a bit easier. And when you begin to feel that shift, however small, I want you to come back and tell me in the comments. Your story will help someone else. It always does. If this video brought you comfort, clarity, or even a little hope, I would be honored if you subscribed and stayed with me on this journey. We are building a community of older adults who refuse to settle for feeling worse with age. You deserve strength. You deserve warmth. You deserve ease in your steps. And it begins, truly, with 1 minute. I am Dr. James. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of your legs. They have carried you far. And with the right support, they will continue to carry you farther than you think.